There you go. Bombs, what else comes to mind?
Terrorists.
Danger. Okay. Well, have you ever considered the historical context of Iraq? Have you ever considered any of the attractions that they had, any of the parts of the aspects of the culture that are on Iraq? Maybe, maybe not. But that's what I'm here to show you today. So, a little bit about Iraq. Iraq is situated in Southeast Asia. It's around the Arabian Gulf, and it's in between Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, and it's also on the west of Jordan, Syria, and Turkey. And 29 million people in that country. So, pretty big civilization. Their capital is Baghdad, and their currency that they use is the dinar, which is the currency exchange is about 1,178 to $1 US. So you can be pretty rich doing that, going down there. So how is it? You hear all the time from Iraq. Iraq in the ancient times was a part of Mesopotamia, and Mesopotamia was known as the cradle of civilization because of the following. There were so many other things. Like one of the things it houses the seventh wonder of the world, which is the Hanging Gardens. And the Hanging Gardens, they were in Babylon, and were built in around the 600s. And for those of you who don't know, the wonders of the world, they're well-known structures built throughout the world that just kind of have some sort of image or some kind of presence in the world. Another thing is, it also was where the Hammurabi Code was developed. The Hammurabi Code was the earliest legal comprehensive legal system or law that was first developed, and of course, that today is being applied all over the world. Everyone has some variation of this legal code, which was proposed back then, around the Mesopotamian times. Another thing was, for those of you who didn't know, what was the wheel invented? There are records that show that the wheel was invented around 5000 BC in the Mesopotamia area. Another thing is math and science and education. A lot of that, which contributed to the invention of the wheel, started in Babylon, which is part of Iraq. And another thing is, another interesting fact is that Iraq was the home to the development of our time system. They came up with the 24-hour days. They came up with the 60-minute and the 60 seconds. They came up with that system in order to track time. So, what happens in Baghdad? What can I do? Well, one of the things you can do is, if you're interested in the arts, one of the things is you can attend one of the many performances by the Iraqi National Orchestra. And these people are world-renowned. They've performed all over. They've performed in Paris and London. They're part of these national and international music organizations. And it's the best part about this orchestra is that it really brings people together, because you'll see the Sunnis and the Shiites, and they get together along with all the different cultural groups, and they put on beautiful music for the people. Typically classical music, the orchestra does. Another thing is you can go and check out the National Theater of Iraq, and they have a whole bunch of different performances there too, including ballet. What else can you do? You can go sightseeing. Iraq or Baghdad is probably one of the best things to do when you're down in Baghdad. It's amazing. Just be able to see the history behind Baghdad. One of the things is the Baghdad Tower. The Baghdad Tower is pretty cool because it's a TV tower, but at the very top, it's a revolving restaurant, and it's also an observation deck on the top as well. So, and from the top of the Baghdad Tower, you can see all over Baghdad. Absolutely amazing. And then you can take a little trip over to the Iraqi National Museum, and it contains, this Iraqi National Museum contains relics that can be traced back 5,000 years ago in the past. It's absolutely amazing experience to be able to check out such a wonderful, wonderful history from the Mesopotamian times. And the monument to the unknown soldier, I just thought it would be good to show you the kind of the symbolism behind it. It's just something that you definitely, it's a must see. It represents a traditional Iraqi shield, and it represents the soldier falling from the war of Iraq and Iran, representing the soldier falling with his shield over him. Pretty powerful. Another thing that you will be able to check out is the Baghdad Zoo. The Baghdad Zoo, it houses about 650 to 700 animals, and it also includes an amusement park and another observation tower. So again, there's a lot of different things that you can do. Another thing that you would check out, I was talking about in Baghdad, one of the biggest things is soccer, and another one of the big things is horse riding, horseback riding. That's another thing that they like to do down there. And you can check out those kind of games at the Al Shab Stadium, where they host a lot of those events, and they bring in people from all over the Middle East. You can check out, they have a wax museum. So where can you stay? You can stay, one of the places in the Ishtar Sheraton Hotel. It's the tallest building in Iraq. It's another epitomized structure in the Iraq area. Another place you can check out is the Al Rashid Hotel. It's 18 stories. It has shopping centers, internet cafes. It has all that and more. And you can also check out the Nivene Oberoi Hotel, which features about 189 rooms and 9 suites. And another thing, just so you know, where do I go in the nighttime? What do I do to have fun? Or you can go, they have inside these hotels, and there are many other hotels in Iraq as well, but in each of these hotels you can find nightclubs. Their big thing is disco halls. They have those down there too. So those are fun. So who are the famous Iraqi Americans? One of them is Elliott Yamin. He's of Iraqi Jewish descent, and he's the one who sang "Wait for You." Do any of you know that? I wait for you know. But yeah, so he sings that, and he placed 3rd on the 5th season of American Idol. For those of you who don't know. And another one is Christopher Lee Katan. He's a mix of things. He's Iraqi, Jewish, Hungarian. He's on Saturday Night Live, and he also performing he's in a lot of films like Corky Romano or Grace on the Fire. And another one I thought was interesting, just for Wentworth students to recognize, is Hisham Ashgori. He is a Boston and New York based architect, and he's done a tremendous amount of work. So he's done it in Boston, in New York. He's done work in Afghanistan. He's done work in Iraq and Iran. And so what did Elliott Yamin say about Iraq? He said, "Iraq means a lot to me. I'm very excited to see the upcoming developments, and I recommend to anyone to check out what it has to offer." So what I recommend for you to do is to explore the beauty of the history and that. Contact your local travel agent now for a brochure. You may want to take maybe wait a few years, but contact your local travel agency, and you can find out a lot more information. You can get any kind of information, brochures, magazines, and check out our website, cometoiraq.com. Thank you very much.